Announced at the most recent Nintendo Direct, Penny's Big Breakaway is an offering from the team behind Sonic Mania, Evening Star. Rather than being a collectathon format that most platformers tend to follow, Penny's Big Breakaway proudly leans on the team's experience in a momentum-based platformer with a side dish of busking. What's it like? Grab your yo-yo, put on your mind makeup, and keep moving forward as we review Penny's Big Breakaway for Nintendo Switch. Now before we get yo-yoing and busking, would you mind liking and subscribing? It's the best way that people like me get found on YouTube, and I can't thank you enough for doing so. The game tells a story about Penny, who enrolls in the talent show, unknowingly wronging some people and ultimately disrobing the Emperor thanks to her out-of-control, sentient yo-yo. You make a hasty escape and are thrust in the bright and colourful world of Penny's Big Breakaway, navigating multiple paths, completing side missions like delivering lunch to a construction worker, collecting bolts, and upon finishing each level, you perform a busker special for some bonus points to your adoring fans. Penny herself is full of character despite having no dialogue, and her exaggerated moves and emotions are really well done in a charming and likeable way. During each level you can collect bonus objectives and link moves into some nice combos to get that high score. Initially, I was a bit terrible at getting around, but after a while, the fluid movement became almost second nature. Penny's Big Breakaway is loud. It's a bright and colourful world with playful animations and larger-than-life ensemble casts that are refreshing, and its approach to gameplay is reminiscent of the Crash original trilogy or Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Days. That Sonic pedigree also shines through as Penny's Big Breakaway is focused on that speed of traversal, with several moves and abilities afforded to you from the outset that allow you to cruise through the levels, or should you decide it, have a crack at speedrunning. This is Penny's Big Breakaway's biggest strength, as its controls are well implemented, and linking these traversal moves into one fluid run are satisfying when everything goes right, and downright frustrating when it doesn't. To keep you moving, the Emperor's trusty army of penguins is almost always constantly chasing you, and should you be overwhelmed by them, you are captured and promptly lose a life. This is where my first complaint to the game actually comes in, as some of the levels do seem to be counterintuitive to the design of the momentum-based nature of the game, made even more difficult by having to wrestle the camera with the D-pad, which can lead to some frustrating occurrences, especially when outrunning a giant ball of penguins, which gave me flashbacks to the Crash Bandicoot stages where you would run towards the camera to escape a giant boulder. Graphically, the game is decent looking, and it's not hard to see the Sonic influence and DNA shine through. The game is locked at 30 frames per second on the Nintendo Switch, and it rarely dips below that. The characters look good, the worlds have a lot going on, and despite the aforementioned issues with level design above, they are wonderfully varied and seem to change up at just the right moment so they never outstay their welcome. All of this is backed by a fun and playful score that ranges from relaxing calypso beach style vibes to fast and busy tunes that match the world perfectly. The score also hastens the tempo when evading or nearing capture, creating that same rush that we used to get while searching for oxygen bubbles while underwater in Sonic the Hedgehog. For my vision impaired yo-yoers, unfortunately there aren't any accessibility options, so to speak, and due to the fast nature of the game coupled with the colour scheme, more research might be required to see if Penny's Big Breakaway is right for you. Unfortunately, there is a distinct lack of polish in some aspects of Penny's Big Breakaway that do take away from the enjoyment. Throughout my playthrough there were several annoying bugs like getting a game over screen when hitting close to the edge of the water, or penguins appearing in the busker bonus scenes blocking the screen. There were times when I would successfully complete a phase of a boss fight, only for the game to trigger a game over screen instead of a cutscene, forcing me to lose my score and start again. Now as we wind up the string on this yo-yo over review, Penny's Big Breakaway is a bright and fun platforming adventure for enthusiasts of the genre and a challenging race for speedrun aficionados. It may need a little bit more polish, but for those of you who enjoyed the likes of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle or Koa and the 5 Pirates of Mara, you will find a lot of enjoyment here. There are some frustrations and some obstacles to overcome, but Penny's Big Breakaway is a great adventure that is sure to entertain platformers of all ages. So, what's it like? Penny's Big Breakaway is like Sonic Adventure and Jet Set Radio. I award it a 70 out of 100. In the interest of full disclosure, a review copy was provided by the publisher, but this doesn't affect my score. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. The best way you can support me is to like and subscribe and continue watching my content if you enjoy it. But if you do want to go that bit extra, you can buy me a coffee or join our Patreon, which shows you behind the scenes of this channel. Thanks again.